Hi everyone and welcome. My name is Dora and this is my beauty bank / makeup rehab series finale. Yeah, I feel like this specific series has reached its natural conclusion. It's been almost 3 months since I last posted an update. So I thought it'd be nice to just share with you where I'm at today, what makeup products have I finished, what makeup products have entered my collection, where am I at with my points, and funnily enough, it's almost been exactly 1 year since I started this project. I saw that I posted my intro on the 12th of August, so I'm not sure about when this video is actually going up, but I think it'll be exactly around the 1 year mark. So yeah, that seems kind of nice. Now, while I found that, especially in the beginning of this project, like maybe up until update 3 or 4, something like that, I found that this point system really worked for me, and then ultimately it didn't really work for me. I still did exactly what I wanted to do, even though I penalized myself with like extra points if I bought a drugstore item, if I did impulse shopping. I don't think it like really worked for me. But however, what I do find really works for me is doing my No Buy Project pan. And I think the reason why the No Buy Project pan is working out for me better is because these numbers, they're so like abstract to me, and I know I can always gain points back by hitting pan, by decluttering, by emptying something, etc. I don't think it was a harsh enough boundary for me in order to stop me from buying more things. Whereas with my No Buy Project pan, there is a boundary because I'm on a no buy, but I'm only doing it for a certain category or categories. So I feel like in a lot of ways it's doubling up and then also showing you these pans that I've hit, because I exclusively work on eyeshadows that are within projects. I have to be really careful with spoilers. I know that a lot of you like don't mind, like I never mind like seeing spoilers, but it just felt like these updates here were a bit futile. So before we get into everything, do let me know, especially if you've been following both of these series from me, would you want to see my empties either in a separate video, like maybe quarterly or annually, whatever. I don't know however long I can hold on to them until I run out of space in my empties bin. Or would you rather see them in my No Buy Project pan, even if it's like a concealer, which isn't in that specific series? Yeah, I'm trying to work it out. Anyway, let's get into it. So at the end of my last update, I had a balance of 0 points. I'm gonna start with empties and declutter, so any kind of points coming back into my balance, should you be on a no buy yourself right now or a low buy, in case you don't wanna see these new products that did come in, you can just hop out of the video. Since my last update, which I posted on the 23rd of May, I have had 5 empties. Some of them might not be a surprise to you because you would have seen them in my No Buy Project pan update. I think the July one probably. There were 2 lip products. There was the Dr. Pawpaw Peach Tinted Lip Balm. Also the Soap and Glory lipstick in Satin Nude Edition. I finished a Kiko concealer. It was just 3.5 milliliters and I bought it last July. So this lasted me about a year. Yeah, which I thought was interesting, that this tiny little concealer actually was the perfect amount for me to use within that 12-month time span before it officially expires. I also finished a Bare Minerals highlighter. Now that was exciting because I'd had that for almost 5 years. And then I finished another concealer, a color corrector by Boutique. Each empty brings me back 3 points, so at this point I'm at plus 15 points. I also had 5 declutters since my last update. The very first one was a gift with purchase that I would have shown in here at some point. I know I did. Maybe in the intro actually, and it was the Revolution X Pride bronzer in warm. I'd never touched it, never swatched it, and I managed to pass it on to one of my neighbors, which was lovely. I'm so glad I didn't have to pan that. 15 grams. I also decluttered an Arbonne foundation that was already a declutter from a friend of mine. And, oh, I can show you this actually here. I actually put a tiny little bit of it into this Huda Beauty Full Filter Concealer, which is in the shade Honey 1.7B. Too light for me, too thick for me. So adding that deep beige Arbonne foundation in here was brilliant. It's expired in the sense of it's definitely been open for longer than it should have been, but there's no funny smell on it. I trust my nose. I have a very good sense of smell, if I may say so. It's not the right shade for my skin tone. I don't have any foundations or liquid foundations in my collection anymore that are so light that I would need to bring them down. Yeah, so why hold on to it, right? I might see if anyone wants it from my local friends. Yeah. Thirdly, this is a big deal to me. I'm decluttering an eyeshadow palette. I'm decluttering, in fact, my focus palette, which was the Revolution Pro Regeneration Astrological Palette. Look, I already took this on holiday with me last summer and I was totally not feeling it. And the thought of me taking it on yet another summer holiday this year was just like, I'm done. Plus it's falling apart. I already started taking shades out of it. I really tried to like show it some more love and appreciation by making it my focus palette and my panels eyeshadows, figuring out that this isn't working for me at all. I've only managed to hit 2 pans in that this year. It's just time to say goodbye. You know, it's probably the oldest or the second oldest palette in my collection, and yeah, I think it's like, I don't like wasting things either. I was also thinking I could crush up some of the shades, put it in my body lotion, but then the eco warrior in me was like, hang on, like that going into the water, you know, when I take a shower, is probably worse than me just scraping it into the bin, it going into landfill, and me actually recycling the actual packaging with TerraCycle X Maybelline at my local drugstore. So it's been decided, and no more focus palettes for me. And also it's teaching me, you know, I was just filming my Pan That Palette update, and I was talking about my side Pan That Palette, which is older than that one, but I love it more because it's cool toned. I'm just into cool tones more. It's kind of weird, but yeah. Anyway, and then the final 2 declutters are 2 mascaras. I've had them open for 6 months. They're still alright. Like, one of them is starting to, you know, crumble a little bit, but not in a terrible way. But yeah, it's been 6 months and just, I don't think it's sanitary anymore. So this is the Revolution Big Lash XL Volume Mascara. It's time, you know, I've really like, it's so worn off as well. And like, you can see how can you see how the green plastic is coming through here? Bunged up. Yeah. And then the other one is this Barry M waterproof mascara called That's How I Roll. I'm still wearing both of them today, but yeah, I will declutter them in a couple of weeks' time once I have started using my new mascara. So a declutter is +1 point each, so that's +5 points. So I'm now at +20 points. I've hit 9 pans since my last update, woohoo! And each pan brings me back +1 point as well, which means I'm now at +29 points, but let me show you the pans real quick. So there's the 3rd shade in the Juvia's Place, the Sweet Pinks palette. Then there's a shade called Passion in my Pan That palette. Then I hit pan in Those eyeshadows in the shade Candyland, which comes from the Revolution Forever Flawless Chilled palette. Then I hit pan in the shade Earth from another Revolution palette, XX Revolution Bare Luxe Shadow palette. Then I hit pan in my Kombucha Kiss Revolution Pan That palette again in the shade Blazing. Then I hit pan in Mystical. It still counts, even though it is that decluttered palette. So that was the Revolution Astrological palette. Then I hit pan in the shade Bitter from a Barry M Black Cherry palette. I also hit pan in the shade Affair from another Revolution palette, in the Romance palette. And finally, the third shade, so this lilac matte shade in the Essence Welcome to Miami palette. So plus 29 points. And at this point, it starts to go down because now things have come in. I did some frankening, so I have actually added 1 Franken lip balm. I made 2, but I already had 1 that I reconcocted and 1 extra one joined, so I gave myself minus 2 points for that. So this brings me down to 27 points. Then I bought 2 H&M polishes. That was before polishes joined my Nowhere Project pan. One is called Chalky Pink and the other one is called Electric Pearl. That's minus 3 points per item, bringing me down to 21 points. Then 4 eyeshadow palettes from Revolution, super impulse purchases joined my collection. There's the XX Revolution Sugar Baby palette. There's the XX Revolution Bitter Peach Luxe palette and the XX Revolution Mint Master Luxe palette. They were like buy 2, get 1 free. I only wanted to buy 2, and then at the tails I was informed that there'd be another one free. So did I need it? No. Did I want it? Kinda. And then I bought, also on sale, again, super impulsy, the Revolution Forever Flawless Desert Desire palette. Now, because these are drugstore impulse purchases, they count 5 points each. So that's 4 palettes, minus 20. We're now at 1 point in credit. It continues. I did have a couple of repurchases. Number 1 is this base coat here by My Mood. 73% plant-based coat. I'm really liking this one. It's very, very liquid. And the reason I picked it, or part of the reason I picked it, is also because it was the most liquid one I could find. Because I've got a couple of base coats that are very, very thick. Too thick for me to use. So I'm eventually gonna, you know, concoct them. And then also a waterproof mascara repurchase. I'm gonna include a picture here. So repurchase are minus 2 points per item. This is now bringing me to a balance of minus 3 points. But we're not done. 2 more items to show you. I got a couple of gifts and they were declutters for my niece. So there's the Nivea lip balm and then also the Collection lip gloss, which says it's like a fruity one, but actually the way it like feels and tastes on my lips is more like minty, but I don't mind it. I think it's gonna replace my Dior, I forget the name of it, which is like the one I've got in my handbag. It's not a lip gloss, it's a lip balm, but it's also a bit tingly. I'm probably like this much away from panning it. So gifts that I didn't choose myself are minus 2 points per item, and that brings me to a balance of minus 7 points, and this is where I am ending this entire series. Look, I'm okay with that. Of course, I would have rather had a plus balance or at least 0. But like I said, the thing that really works for me is my Nowhere Project pan, and because I feel like it's doubling up, I'm gonna let this makeup rehab series rest. And yeah, I'll see you over in my Nowhere Project pan updates. And yeah, do let me know if you'd rather see empties in there or if you'd rather see them separately. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting me and for all of the comments and love that you've shown me over the months in this specific series and on my channel in general. So yeah, sending you so much love, and I hope that you're having a lovely rest of your day or night wherever you are. Take care. Mwah.